Hello and welcome to the Bleach Wizard channel and our second playthrough video of Flashpoint Golan by Victory Games and Mark Herman. Right, we had a fairly poor start by the Syrians where they conducted some set-piece battles here which kind of bounced off these elite paratroopers of the 96th Para Brigade. We're on to the next chit which was pulled out, which is the Moshe Armoured Division for the Israelis. Now, picking this out at this point is a sort of curse and a blessing, really. This allows the Moshe Armoured Division here to reinforce the areas of the front line here to stop the Syrians getting through, but also means that now they would have moved, there's no ability for them to provide some further support. So tricky, really. But anyway, we've got our armoured division's activation here. So they have no units which are within ZOCs. So therefore there's no withdraw or hold or battle decisions to be made. And so they have their operation points to continue. We've got 1 out of the 6 points being used so far by the division. I'm thinking what we might do really is attempt to reinforce the areas and just leave it up to those troops to try and hold what they need to hold. So with that in mind, we will start moving units here. Now, at the moment, with the air superiority being at Israel level 1, this means that the targeting an Israeli unit for detection is only at 3 hex depth. So 3 hexes from a Syrian unit, Israeli units in clear and desert and rough can be seen, but beyond that they can't. So 3 hexes pretty much still covers most of the area that the Moshe Armoured Division is in, so therefore they could actually be seen. Let's start by moving. We've got 2 armoured task forces here, 1st 88th and 2nd 188th. Move forward. So what we could do is we could attempt to reinforce these areas here, particularly this one here, this Herman Tell. Yeah, I think that's probably our critical place. We could leave that one at 14 there, and I'm thinking maybe we could move that brigade across to cover this area, although that's not a tell. That looks like a pretty important area to control because we've got Masada and Bakata behind it, which are also victory point locations. So if we want to move to here, we will be in the open, and that could get a reaction with some strikes from the Syrians. So maybe that's not such a good idea. I think we'll move these guys along the back here. We'll see if we can not use the highway rate. However, it doesn't really matter because we are out in the open anyway. So let's move forward. I think, seeing as the 10th mech has already gone this turn, I'm not sure we have to worry too much about what's going on down here. I think the paratroopers are quite happy to hold their territory here. So let's move on up here. So we'll use 1, 2, 3, 4. That's now within range of a reaction. It can be detected. So now that's detected, there can be a response. So we will fire this 5th mech artillery brigade onto that armoured division to see if we can strike it. So that's 7 points, it's six range, so we can get there. The strike results table, if we look at the 7, which is the 6 to 9 artillery strength, that's the row C. The target is not using the rate, it's using the standard rate for highway, which is 1. So there's no die roll modifiers and they're not in fortification. So it's just a straight roll. So let's roll for the artillery strike. It's an 8. An 8 is a complete miss. That's a terrible result. And there is some ammo depletion. But now that artillery has fired, there could be some counter battery reaction. And we have a battery here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is within range of the direction of fire from that mechanized unit. So we will fire in response to counter battery from that artillery unit. That's a 7, that's not great. On the 3 table is the second line, and that's also a miss and also an ammo depletion. I think we will then continue moving, and we will move into this spot here. We will take the 2nd Armoured Brigade, 1, 2, 3, 4, and again we could react, although we're losing a lot of ammunition here. Let's get the Mech Brigade here from 7th Mech to fire here on that brigade, and we're on the 6 to 9 row of the strike results table, and another 7. 7 on that actually is a result of 4, but again we have ammo depletion. So we have to compare the troop quality of that armoured brigade with the result of 4. So the Moshe Armoured Brigade hasn't been tested yet. Its training level is 1st line. So we roll on the 1st line column the troop quality table, see what we get, and we rolled a 3. A 3 has a troop quality of 5. So that's now all the formations have got their troop quality on the Israeli side, and 5 is better than 4, so that's no result. Again, we could respond, and we'll respond with this artillery unit here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could certainly see the flight of the shells, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can actually strike there. So we'll do that on the 3 table. A 5, slightly better. 3 table, that's not ammo depleted, and it results in a 5. So the 7th Mech, we have a troop quality of reserve, and we've not rolled for it yet, so let's do that on the reserve column. A 0 on reserve is 4. So 7th Mech is a 4, and 4 is, we were rolling a 5 before, weren't we? So the result was 5. 5 is greater than 4, so there's a failure here, and the 7th Mech is disorganized. So the artillery duel is certainly favoring the Israelis at the moment. And finally, the Moshe task force ends up on the tell there. Okay, we can use points, I think, here for capability of the HQ. For the Moshe one, I think we'll use our 2nd point to remove that ammo depleted. I think with the 5th Mech HQ, we will use a point to remove that ammo depleted. Now, the HQs could be detected. I'm not sure there's going to be very much each side can do about it. I won't follow it up. For the 7th Mech, they could remove this ammo depletion, but as it's a disorganized artillery unit, it's not going to be a huge amount of help. But I'm not sure what else they could pretty much do, so I think we'll do that. That's the Moshe Armoured Division's move done. So let's pick out the next chit for activation, and we have the Northern Command. So picking out the Northern Command, I think we'll wait for the next video for that one, which will be, I think, a pretty short one. But anyway, that was the Moshe Armoured Division's activation, and we'll see what the Northern Command can do or not do in the next video. Bye for now.